Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We got a bunch of callers on hold, so I will get to them. I'll get to as many as I can. It's always fun to see who calls in and see what their questions are and all of that. And first of all, my love and prayers, all of our love and prayers go out to the people in Louisiana, in California with the fires, and also in New England, in New Jersey, and I guess it's not New England, it's New York and New Jersey. My goodness, I think everybody's surprised that it got as bad up there as it did. We got through unscathed. We had some limbs down and some wind. At one point, we had so much water going down our street that we had white caps on the water because it was so windy. It was pretty funny, but we lost power for a little bit, but it came back on, and we're really in good shape here. So everybody that's dealing with all of this aftermath from the hurricane, and also those of you that are having to evacuate with the fires, our thoughts and prayers are with you. So hang in there. All right. It is the first of the month. So you know what that means. Free giveaway. Da, 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 da. And it's always my game show imitation. Da, 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 da. So this month, how you win a free session with me valued at $200 is all you have to do is leave a review on the podcast, and just go to ratethispodcast.com/Julie, and you'll be entered into a drawing. And then I pick one out of a bag, and that's who wins. So this week, or this month, I should say, is somebody, I love this. She calls herself May La Force Be With You. Excuse me. And she says, this Julie show is my favorite podcast. She said, Julie is awesome. I'm so glad to have been led to her podcast. The impact Julie has on her callers and clients is inspiring. I hope to have a similar impact on people I work with and look to Julie as a sort of role model. A lot of people listen to my show when they're practicing doing woo-woo. And so somebody will ask a question and they'll see what their answers are. A lot of my graduates practice by listening to my show. So if you're interested in learning woo-woo, you can do the same thing. She went on to say, outside of the work she does, her personality is warm, friendly, and humorous, which makes every episode entertaining. Hearing her reference Sweet Home Alabama never gets old. So may La Force be with you. You have won a free 1-hour session with me. If you email me, julie@askjulieryan.com, we will find a date and time that works for both of us. And the reason I do this, you guys, every month is just as a thank you for being part of this community and for tuning into this show. And I know $200 is a lot of money for a lot of people. So if you want to win a free session, just leave a podcast review, ratethispodcast.com/Julie, and you may be our next winner next month for October. One other thing I forgot to mention, tonight really kicks off college football for fall 2021. And as those of you that have been listening to me for a long time know, our family is a big college football family. And our two favorite teams are Bama, of course, which is ranked number 1, and also the Ohio State University, which is ranked number 4. And they are playing tonight, which I thought was pretty rude that they're playing during the time that I'm doing my show, but I think I'll be able to catch the last quarter at least. So go Buckeyes and go Bama. And for those of you that like college football, I hope you enjoy the start of this season, which is tonight. So our first caller is Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Lisa. I can.
Oh, you can't? Uh-oh.
I can. Yes, I can. I can, yes. Hello. Lisa. Okay, well, let's go to our... Oh, I think she's on. Lisa, are you on?
Oh, I'm here.
Okay. I can. Yes. Please tell everybody where you're located.
I am in the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State.
Washington State. Well, terrific. Welcome. You got a question for me?
Thank you. Well, I would love some healing sent my way. I had progression, and I have, for people listening, lung cancer metastasized to my brain, and so chemo is the last thing they're offering me, and I had my first chemo treatment last week, and so I guess if it's in my best interest, and then if you can just send me some healing. It's been a rough week.
How did it go? How'd your first treatment go?
And it's not what I want to do. The treatment itself went well, and my pastor blessed it, and we wrote 100% pure love on it. But then since then, it's been a little more difficult.
I bet, with the side effects. Are they going to do another treatment, Lisa, or is this it for a while?
No, it's 4 treatments of 2 types of chemo, and then every 3 weeks. And then it's every 3 weeks indefinitely. They call it maintenance.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you on my radar, and we'll just do a healing on you. So when I say we, that's spirit working through me and with me. So here's how it works. For those of you that are first-time listeners, I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit because we're all spirits attached to a body having a human experience. And when we're attached to a body, we vibrate more slowly simply because the body has mass. So I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to watch a laser beam come from my body here in Birmingham, Alabama, and it's going to hook into Lisa in Washington State. And then I'm going to have a hologram of her in my mind's eye, and it's going to be as if I'm looking at an X-ray or a CT scan or an MRI. So here we go, Lisa. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, and hooking into you in Washington. All right, got you. Shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. It's going to your left lung first. So is that where they found some growth that they hadn't been expecting?
In both lungs.
Okay. All right. It's in your left lung first. What I'm doing is I'm encapsulating the tumors that I'm seeing and pulling them out. So encapsulating to try and keep the cells from spreading. All right, let me go over to the right side. Same thing. I see a couple over there. It looks more pronounced on the left side than the right side. Okay, going up into your head. Okay, so I see an area. If I divide your head into quadrants, Lisa, I see an area in the back left that looks new to me. And so I'm scooping that out. I'm using stem cell energy to regenerate that brain matter. And I'm doing that. And then let's do a DNA healing real fast on you. 4 strands of DNA have come out of a chromosome. Those are the strands or the recipe. DNA is the recipe that tells the cells how to behave. It's made up of 4 nucleic acids. They're represented by 4 letters, A, T, C, G. The strands look like pieces of paper you'd see inside a fortune cookie. And a strand of DNA can have 100,000 letters on it, can have a billion letters on it. So I'm watching those letters get rearranged. So they're getting resequenced. What that does is it turns that recipe, that DNA recipe, back to a normal configuration. So I'm watching that. The first 2 strands have already snapped back into the chromosome. 3rd strand just went in. Okay, 4th strand did. That just went in your body. So hopefully that will help with that. It'll help integrate the healing into your body with the chemo. All righty? Okay. Hang in there, girl. Thanks for calling. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, let's go to Anne next. Hi, Anne.
Hi, Julie.
How are you, girl?
I am really excited, actually, to be on. This is my first time calling, so I'm really
terrific. Welcome. Welcome. We're thrilled to have you. Where are you calling in from?
Thank you. Bluffton, South Carolina.
South Carolina. I know where that is. I know where Bluffton
Carolina.
is. Yeah.
Buckeye fan.
Buckeye fan, I know. Go Bucks.
Girl.
Yeah. Did you go to Ohio State too?
No, my son did.
Oh, he must be way cool.
I lived in Ohio for a long time.
Your son must be way cool. Are we on speaker, Ann? If I'm on speaker, can you get me off speaker, please?
No, you're not on my speaker.
Okay. I heard a little bit of feedback. All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to have to hold you over for the break because it's time for us to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll find out what Ann's question is. Everybody stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, we were talking with Ann from South Carolina. How's that sound? Do I sound like a native Southern girl? South Carolina?
You sure do.
I can imitate them. I've lived here. I've lived in the South long enough. Yeah. I don't know the stories, though. You know, my husband has these stories and these sayings. And even after all these years of being married to him, I'll say, what does that mean? Can you translate that into English? I know you know what I'm talking about. So that truck runs like a scalded dog. And I'll say, what the heck does that mean? So anyways, all right. You got a question for me, Miss Ann?
I do. I am actually a nurse who has some severe problems with plantar fasciitis, and it seems to be exacerbating an old knee injury, which is then causing not only pain to my knee, but also my foot. Any help that you can give?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have plantar fasciitis most of the time or just in the summer when you're wearing cute shoes with no support?
Most of the time. I have flat feet.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to connect into you. Usually plantar fasciitis in women flares up in the summer when we're wearing some cute sandals that don't have any support in them. And then we pay the price. So here we go. All right. Here comes my laser beam heading over to South Carolina. Okay. Got you. Shooting energy. All right. It's gone to your right foot first. Is that one hurting more than the left? Or is that the one that's working the hardest?
Yes.
Yes, what? It's hurting more or it's working the hardest?
That is the one. That is the one that is working. That is the one that is seems to be the most severe as far as foot pain.
Okay.
That and my right knee.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of inflammation on that foot. And so inflammation looks like red fog on body parts. And I get it calmed down with royal blue energy that calms it down so I can see underneath it. All right. So I see the plantar fascia. It runs on the bottom of your foot. I'm using stem cell energy to regenerate it. When I see a plantar fasciitis in somebody, it looks like that ligament is starting to shred a little bit. You know what a big twisted rope looks like that a boat or a ship will use to dock, to tie off on the dock when they get there. Mm-hmm. And little fibers of the rope sometimes start to fray. The rope is still very solid and very strong, but it's fraying. That's what the plantar fascia looks like. So I'm smoothing it with stem cell energy, which is a light amber colored gel, has sparkles in it because it's woo-woo, got to have sparkles. And it has a watery consistency, and those of a certain age will appreciate it when I say it reminds me of Dippity-Doo hair gel. When I was a kid growing up in the 60s and 70s, there was this hair gel called Dippity-Doo. So I'm watching that. There's a vortex spinning. You're aware of Dippity-Doo. Is that hilarious? And I'm watching a vortex spin above your foot. Imagine a funnel cloud, and that's going to regenerate that fascia there. All right, right knee. Let me go up that. Yeah, do you have a chiropractor that you see, Ann?
No, I don't.
All right, find one, ask around, ask your family and friends who they go to that they really like. Your knee's out of joint. It's just out of alignment. I watched a chiropractic adjustment happen with your knee because you're walking weird because your foot hurts, and it's just knocked your knee out of alignment. So that's an easy fix. All right, let me go over to the left foot and see what's going on there. All right. It's not as inflamed, but I'm going to do the same healing. When I say I, it's spirit working through me and with me. So stem cell energy on there, vortex above it, that's going to regenerate. Couple of pointers. When I've had it, the thing that's helped me the most is the downward dog move in yoga. Have you ever done that? Do you know what that is?
I do.
Okay. For those of you that don't, you stand in a V with your hands and your feet on the floor and your butt up in the air in a V shape. And then it's called walk the dog. And you bring your heels down one at a time and stretch them out. If you can do that a couple of times a day, that's going to be a huge help to that plantar fasciitis. Okay?
Okay.
All righty. Well, thanks for calling in. I hope you feel better.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye-bye. Our next caller is Brian. Hi, Brian. Hi, Brian. Hello, hello. Get me off mute. Hi, Brian. Can you hear me? Okay, well, we'll come back to Brian. You guys that are waiting in line to be on, stay off mute so when I call on you, we can go right to you, and then we'll be in good shape with that. So, all right, let's go to, let's go to Melissa next. Hi, Melissa.
Hello.
Hi, Melissa.
Hello. Hey.
Hi. Hi. How are you?
Hello. Hey. I'm doing good.
Great. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
I'm calling from North Carolina.
Okay, terrific. You got a question for me?
Yeah, I'm calling because my dad had a stroke on August 8th and was in the hospital for about a week and a half. He discharged to a rehab facility, but he has declined considerably since he has been there. And so we had planned to move him to North Carolina. He lives in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. It's been kind of a challenge going back and forth. So we planned on moving him this week, but found out Sunday that he tested positive for COVID. Mm-hmm. So he has had a lot of confusion and difficulty talking since the stroke. And now with the COVID in the middle of everything, we aren't able to see him. So I'm just kind of wondering sort of how he's doing, if he understands everything that's going on or that's happened. Kind of just want to know if there's anything that he wants us to know that he hasn't been able to communicate.
Okay. Well, Melissa, I'm going to hold you over for the break. We're going to need to take a little bit of a break. And when we come back, in the meantime, I'll talk to your dad. What's his first name?
His name is Jim or James.
Jim. Okay, I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him during the break, and then I'll let you know what I come up with when we come back. Stay with us, everybody. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, we were talking with Melissa in North Carolina about her dad in South Carolina, your dad, Jim, Melissa. And so during the break, I talked to him. I connected with him telepathically. He is in phase 3 of the 12 phases of transition. Do you know what that is?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, if you go on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, you will see graphics. If you click on the 12 phases of transition tab, you will see graphics. And it's a configuration of how, when we're dying, we're surrounded by angels and deceased loved ones and the spirits of deceased pets. There are 12 phases everybody goes through. Your dad is in phase 3, which means he's dying at the moment. It doesn't mean he's going to check out. He can come in and out of the phases, but right now he is in the transitioning process. This can happen instantly, like in the case of a homicide or suicide, or it can take days, weeks, months, even years to happen. So when somebody's in a phase of transition, I'm unable to scan them because their spirit's out of their body and it holds on to the top of the head in a bubble configuration, much like a cartoon caption bubble, Melissa, and where the words of the character are in, and it would be like I'm trying to look at an X-ray in a pitch black room without any electricity. The spirit is the power source for the body, so when it's out of the body, I'm unable to scan him. But I was able to talk with him, and I always ask people 3 questions when they're in the phases of transition. The first one is, are you ready to go? He said no. When I asked if he was in pain, he said not really. And then I asked him what he needed, and he said he needs for you all to know how much he loves you. That was his response. So again, if you go on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, you'll see graphics of the phases and my book, Angelic Attendants, what really happens as we transition from this life into the next. If you want to get a copy of that, you can get it on audiobook, digital, paperback. You may want to read that because that's going to explain more about the phases. So I know that's not what you wanted to hear, but I hope it gives you comfort that he's surrounded by angels and more deceased loved ones will come in if he decides that he wants to transition.
Okay, thank you so much.
You are welcome. All righty, take care. Good luck with all of that.
Okay, thanks.
With him.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, let's go to Pam next. Hi, Pam.
Hi. How you?
I'm well. How are you?
Oh, I'm good for a change.
Terrific. Please tell everybody where you're located.
I'm from Michigan, the middle by the thumb.
Okay, the middle right thumb. Listen to you. That's hilarious. I love that.
We got our own map.
Yes, you do. How funny. Oh, good. Well, you got a question for me?
Tonight. Yes, I do. It's my husband. You had helped me with my sciatic nerve that I had suffered with for 5 months. Well, I don't know how, but I got rid of it, and my husband got it. Rick, he is suffering, and men don't handle pain like women do.
Yeah,
and he is debilitated. It has bothered him for 3 months now.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry.
His right-hand side, and it goes from his buttocks, just like mine, exactly the same path all the way down the side of his leg to his ankle.
Okay. All right. What's his name, Pam?
Rick.
All right. Does he know I'm going to ask his permission to scan him?
Yes, he's sleeping at the moment because he gets up at 1, but he knows. He's been threatened.
Okay. For those of you that are first-time listeners, if somebody asks me to scan somebody else, I always ask their permission first because I believe it's an invasion of privacy for me to do a scan on them. It'd be like me looking at their X-rays without their permission. And sometimes I get a no. I had a client earlier today, and she asked me to scan 4 people. 3 of them were men. All 3 men, Pam said no. It was hilarious. So not all is lost if they tell me no, because we can talk to their spirit and get information that way. And the reason why I do it like that is because I kind of feel like if you're talking to somebody who's got pneumonia, they're going to tell you what they want you to know if you ask them questions. But it's not like you're looking at their chest X-ray without their permission. So here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading up to you in Michigan. Got you. Okay, going to your husband, Rick. Let me go to him. Okay, Rick, I'm talking to Pam. He's going, yeah, it's fine. Okay, cool. Good job setting that up. All right. So what I'm doing is I am going into the back of his leg. Yeah. It looks like it goes down beneath his knee, Pam, like into his upper calf is where it looks like it's going down. When I see a nerve that's been injured, it looks black to me. Nerves normally look pink. This looks black. So imagine the nerve is a tube. The reason why I'm so descriptive on all of this is because if you can envision what I'm seeing, it's going to help integrate the healing, either into you, or in this case, you're going to be my assistant in working on Rick. So imagine that nerve as a tube, and inside the tube gets debris, like dead cells and some other debris in there. So what I'm doing is I'm using a little teeny corkscrew that's tunneling through the inside of that nerve. We're roto-rootering his nerve. You know this because we did the same thing on you.
Yeah.
So it's tunneling through that nerve all the way down to his feet. Now it's being irrigated. It's irrigating out all the gunk. That's a medical term, gunk, G-U-N-K, gunk. It's irrigating that out. And the water, it's hilarious because it comes flying out the end of his toes. One day I'm going to make a sprinkler that looks like a foot with the water coming out the end of the toes because I see this all the time in this healing. Oh. And then I'm pouring stem cell energy in there. And that's going in right now, light amber colored gel, sparkles, dippity-doo material, and there's a vortex spinning above his knee. That's going to regenerate that nerve tissue. I'm watching it come back online. So it's turning pink up in his butt cheek, heading down, all the way down. It's a little bit marbly looking beneath his knee. So my guess is he's having some pain even below his knee, going down into his foot maybe. But hopefully that will help. And I think what's going on is you guys are sitting in some chair that's not good. That's messing up your legs. That came in.
He's a truck driver, so he's up and out, up and down the. Mine was from my surgery, but his is from. Well, he was doing a sledgehammer at his mom's house for a birdhouse, and that's what caused this 3 months ago.
Oh, geez. Well, hopefully this will help.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thanks for calling in. Take care. Bye, Pam. All right, let's go back to Brian. Brian, if you're off mute, I'm going to try you and see if I can get you on here. Let's see if I can find you here on my dashboard. Here he is. Okay. Brian, are you there?
Yes. Do you hear me?
Oh, fabulous. Wonderful. Well, I'm glad you hung in there. Where are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Philadelphia, PA.
Okay, terrific. Are you guys okay? I know Maryland and New Jersey got whacked with that storm last night.
Yeah, everybody's pretty good here. We just got a lot of water, a lot of flooding, a lot of cars, a lot of people's houses got messed up, but everybody, I don't too many deaths or accidents.
Okay, good. Great. Well, I'm glad you're okay. Do you have a question for me?
Yes, thank you for having me first.
Sure.
And I was called in on Channel and Eric when you were on there, and then I got this email, and I led here to this tonight. And again, thank you for having me.
You bet. You got a question for me?
Yes, I got a question. I rescued a dog from a box store, and he had a heartworm issue. And I didn't rush into this situation because, he had a heartworm issue, but I knew that he needed a second chance. So I went and seen this dog for like 5 days. It reminded me of my own dog that passed away 2 years ago. 2 years, yellow lab. And when I got the dog, I kind of I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know, but I noticed when he wasn't drinking here, he ended up being a lot sicker than he was than the heartworm. He had the first dose done, but he was getting ready to go do the second dose when I adopted him. But here he was sick, and I got him to a vet, an animal hospital, and we did an ultrasound and made the blood work, and he was really in bad shape. And what my question is, I did the best thing for him. I put him down, got him out of pain and suffering, which I know we would. And I just want to know, how did he end up? There was a purpose for that, for me to come across this dog and, take him, and even if it was 5 days, 5 days. And, it was a hell of a thing to go through, but in the end, I know I gave him peace. I just want, if you could tell me anything about it.
Yeah, tell me his name, Brian. What's his name?
I named him. Well, his name when at the store, they called him Bam Bam, but I renamed him Luke. My old dog was Duke, so I named him Luke, like Luke Skywalker, but Luke.
I love that.
Luke Walsh, actually. I named him Luke Walsh.
Okay. So I'm going to hold you over for the break. I'll talk to Luke during the break, and I'll let you know what I come up with when we come back. Everybody stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Welcome back, everybody. We have Brian on the phone, and Brian, I talked to your dog Luke during the break. Brian's in Philadelphia, everybody. And what I got was what you suspected. He came to you to help him transition, to help him die. And he said you were a good Samaritan. And he started saying, like in the Bible, they talk about how sometimes the beggar is the Christ consciousness or is the Spirit consciousness. And when we treat people with respect and we help people, regardless of if we know them or not, or how they look or what their circumstances are, that we're acting in the, quote, Christ consciousness. Have you ever heard that, Brian, before?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so he's saying that this was an example of that.
It makes 100 complete sense. I feel him, and I just know I know he's transitioned. He's with my Duke. He's with Duke, and now it's Duke and Luke. I mean, he needed to be out of that. I was his voice. I was his. It's exactly right on point.
Yeah, you were his good Samaritan, is what he's telling me. I mean, that's what he said first out. The other thing, he did say he's with Duke. He said that he's around you all the time now and that you can talk to him anytime. You know how to do that, right? You just say something to either one of them. They're going to answer you. It's going to feel like a thought in your head. You're going to know it's them talking to you when it comes in within a second, Brian. If you think about it for more than a couple of seconds, that's going to be your brain talking to you. And time doesn't exist in the spirit world. So oftentimes when we're talking with spirit, whether it be a deceased loved one or an animal, a deceased animal, we'll get their answer before our thought is even thought out all the way. And that's just because time doesn't exist. So they've already got whatever our question or statement is, comment, and they're answering us before we can even take the time to think it. So, yeah, you're an example of the Good Samaritan with this situation. So he says, so go get a new puppy that's healthy and enjoy it. Okay. Thanks for calling, Brian. I'm glad you were available when I circled back around to get you. Terrific.
I'm glad. I was messing up. I kept pushing the mute button, but thank you again.
You're welcome.
Everything.
Okay. Yeah, take care. Bye. Okay. We've got Hayat. Tell me if I'm messing up the pronunciation. Hayat, I think. Is that right?
Yes. Good job.
Yep. Hayat? Good job. Oh, I'm proud of myself. Well, terrific. Well, where are you, girl?
I'm in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay. Terrific. Well, welcome. You got a question for me?
Yeah. Or maybe not a question, but I was diagnosed a little less than a year ago with breast cancer, estrogen and progesterone receptor positive breast cancer. And stage 2, so is in one lymph node.
Okay.
And I so far have not had surgery and I'm a retired nurse practitioner. I've been doing a whole bunch of other things that are evidence-based. And I guess a healing would be great if you feel called to do that or to understand the underlying, like emotional and spiritual patterns that there might be for me to heal.
Yeah, absolutely. For us to do a really deep dive, get on my calendar and schedule a whole hour, and we'll be able to really do a deep dive on this. I will do a healing on you this evening here in a second, but I'd love to have you for an hour. So do you know the trick on that? If you get on my calendar, I'm booked out a couple of months. Go ahead and get on the next available date and time. And then on your confirmation email, you're going to see a little reschedule button on the bottom. Click on that periodically because it will show you dates and times that have become available. People reschedule every week. I have 5 or 6 people reschedule every week. A couple of days ago, I had a gal that was scheduled, I think, in December, and she got in the following day. So that's the easiest way to do it. I'm telling you, people don't believe me. And then when it works for them, they say, wow, you weren't kidding. And I say, yeah, that's what I keep telling you. So people, I literally have 5 or 6 people reschedule each week. But in the meantime, let me get you on my radar. So here comes my laser beam up to Virginia from Birmingham. All right, got you. The energy is going to your right breast. Is that the one where they found the problem?
No.
Hayat?
That's left.
Okay, I'm in your right breast. I always go where the energy is showing me first, and it's on the right side of your right breast. I'm seeing an area that looks suspicious. So what I'm doing is I'm encapsulating it, and then I've removed it. All right, and I'll put a little dollop of stem cell energy in there to regenerate it. So it's on the side next to your arm is where I'm seeing this spot. Let me go over to the left breast and see what I can see. I see a couple of spots in your left breast. Is that what they've told you?
Okay. Well, I need to have a more current scan, but when I was scanned, it was there was one in the breast and one lymph node affected.
All right. I'm seeing one on the left side of your breast next to your arm. I'm seeing one on the front, kind of northeast of where your nipple is. And so I'm removing both of those, getting those out, and then putting a little dollop of stem cell energy in there to regenerate the breast tissue. Let's do a lymph healing really fast. Lymph fluid, Hayat, looks like the globby fluid that you see inside a lava lamp. You know, that kind of globby stuff. And so, So I'm watching a lymph cleanse. There are 2 ports at the bottom of your feet. They remind me of my Mima's clawfoot bathtub that had the rubber stopper on a chain. So it's like the stopper's pulled out underneath your feet, the bottom of your feet. The lymph is moving. The malignant cells are going out the bottom of your feet, and the rest of it's coming back up. It's churning. That's this healing that I see all the time. All right, getting plugged back up. DNA healing really fast. 7 strands of DNA have come out. Pretty typical for somebody who's dealing with cancer. I'm watching them get reconfigured. Again, DNA strands look to be like letters on a piece of paper that you'd find inside a fortune cookie. And so I'm watching them get resequenced back to a normal recipe. First 3 strands have snapped back in. Other 4 are working. So hope that helps. Get on my calendar. Let's spend a whole hour working on you, and we'll see what we can do to help you heal. Okay. All right. Thanks for calling. Everybody stay with us. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll get more callers on and see what their questions are. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show, so be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 712-775-7035, and the access code is 483-620-pound. Now, this information's seen a whole bunch of places. You can find it on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, and in the show notes, anywhere you download podcasts. We also are on YouTube and Alexa. And when you're downloading, remember to subscribe and remember to leave a review on the show at ratethispodcast.com/Julie. Again, that's ratethispodcast/Julie. And if you do, you'll be entered into a drawing and you may win a free session with me, valued at $200. So it's a pretty good prize. I give one away each month. Call-in details can also be found on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest, all at Ask Julie Ryan. We'll post a reminder to call into the show on the day of the show. And if I'm not doing a live show, a handful of times a year, I'm traveling or it's a holiday or something, and I don't do a live show, like I don't do one on Thanksgiving, we'll post, okay, no live show tonight. And then I'll have an interview that I've pre-recorded that we'll play that night. Okay, while you're on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, be sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter. That's a question somebody has submitted online, and then I answer it. And in the body of the email, we say, hey, remember the show's tomorrow night. If you got a question, call in. So I'm trying to make it easy on you guys. I mean, it's all over the place. You can also schedule an appointment with me, and then we'll have a whole hour to talk about whatever you wish. I was just mentioning that with Hayat, I think is how she pronounces it. And go ahead and get on my calendar. And then when you get your confirmation email, you'll see a little button at the bottom that says reschedule. Click on that when you think about it, and it will tell you if somebody has rescheduled and an earlier appointment becomes available. And as I mentioned, 5 or 6 appointments a week, that happens too. So just get on my calendar, and then we can move you around from there. My classes, angelic attendant training, October's full, January's full, April has already started to fill. I have several people, April for 2022 has already started to fill. So go ahead and get in there because it's going to fill up, and it will rock your world. It's so much fun, and will enhance your life in every area of your life. And plus, it's a blast. We have a ball when we do that. And you're part of a community then when you enroll in the class of graduates that's global. And it's about 150 people now, and is growing every quarter when I teach a new class. And then there are 5 practice sessions a week online that are free that come with it for graduates in a private Facebook group. And so that really enhances your skills after you're done with the class, which takes a month. It's 4 Saturdays in a row. And it's just this community that's being built is just remarkable. And everybody learns to do all this stuff that I do, because remember, I learned how to do all this stuff. I'm a businesswoman who learned how to do woo-woo, and I'm a buffet of psychicness. So you too could be a buffet of psychicness. All right. Here's the question for this week. It comes from Valentina, and Valentina lives in Kharkov in the Ukraine. And here's her question. Dear Julie, sorry in advance about any mistakes in this note. I am 71 years old and only speak Russian. I use the computer to translate my thoughts into English. My letter is the cry of a soul tortured by grief. My only son needs help. His name is Artyom, and he's 37 years old. In childhood, Artyom survived 2 strong frights. These were severe emotional injuries that led to irreversible consequences, including an obsessive fear of death, fear of people with mental disabilities, and the fear of looking crazy. As the years went by, his fears grew. Medicine has been powerless. Now my son lives in captivity of his obsessive fears, causing panic attacks. Artyom understands his fears are unreasonable, but he cannot control them. He tells me, quote, Mom, I am no one and nothing. I have no future. There's some malfunctioning malware in my head. My brain needs to be restarted like a computer, end quote. She went on to say, can you please scan my son? Is there a way out of such a difficult situation? I beseech you, please help my son if possible. Thank you for your time. All good wishes for you and your loved ones. God bless you. Respectfully, Valentina. So that really touched my heart when I got this letter from Valentina in the Ukraine. So here's my response. Hi, Valentina. Thank you for your efforts to send your requests to me. You are the epitome of the power of a mother's love for her child. I'm honored you took the time to translate your Russian thoughts into English so I could understand them. First and foremost, I recommend taking Artyom to a licensed mental health professional. My thoughts and perspective is only as a medical intuitive. I'm not a trained psychotherapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a trained mental health expert. So take your son there first. Sounds like you already have, but this is coming as somebody who is not a trained professional, my opinion. In order to get some information for you about Artyom, I energetically connected to you and from you to your son. When I telepathically asked permission to scan him, he declined. As you most likely know, I won't scan someone without their approval. It's an ethical code I have implemented for myself. You may want to talk with Artyom about allowing me to do a medical scan on him. Please let me know if he agrees. In the meantime, my 2-minute rule may help. Our heads are big satellite dishes that receive and transmit frequencies. Contrary to what most of us believe, thoughts don't originate in our heads. Rather, we pull them in from the ethers. Every thought has its own frequency. Furthermore, much like how a radio station broadcasts on a specific megahertz, that's the number, you're listening to classic rock on 94.7, that's 94.7 megahertz. Our thoughts are broadcast on a certain frequency as well. Thoughts feel neutral, good, or bad. When we feel neutral or good about something, we're in alignment with our spirit, which is pure love. When we experience thoughts that feel bad, they're based in fear, and our emotion lets us know we're out of alignment with our spirit. Now, bad feeling thoughts are either a rational fear, something's going to harm or kill us, or an irrational fear. Irrational fears are false and are 99.9% of the thoughts we think that make us feel badly. It's important to remember we're all hardwired for fear. We're afraid of the saber-toothed tiger who may eat us for lunch, although he's been extinct for thousands of years. We've all experienced having a negative thought that leads to another negative thought, leading to many more unpleasant thoughts that eventually make us feel awful. Those thoughts are coming into our heads on a specific frequency, so all we have to do is change the channel. Here's how. When we have an unpleasant thought, we can ask, is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? I call this the 2-minute rule. If the circumstances will harm or kill you, change the conditions. Get out of the street before the bus hits you. If not, you know your fear is false. It's fake. You're making it up. As soon as you use the 2-minute rule, you disconnect from the unpleasant thought frequency and raise your vibrational level, get back into alignment with your spirit, and immediately feel better. Curiosity is based in love. When we're curious, it's fun, we're interested, and we want to know more. Utilizing the 2-minute rule and making it a habit can enhance your life in every area. Teach it to Artyom. Practice it with him. Pretty soon, he may feel substantially better, and that will help him attract more good-feeling thoughts. It's really that simple. The best part of the 2-minute rule is it's free and it's convenient. It works wherever your brain is, and your brain's usually with you wherever you are. Hope this helps. Sending lots of love to you and your son in the Ukraine. So you guys hear me talk about the 2-minute rule a lot. And it's something that is the most important thing that I can teach you is the 2-minute rule. Because when we attract negative thoughts and we get into a spiral, we're trying to control conditions that aren't real. So when we have a negative thought, it warrants investigation. Is this a real thing? Is this really going to hurt or harm me? Or is this fake? It just feels like it is. I talked to somebody today who was trying to get pregnant, and she said, I just feel like I'm dying because I'm not pregnant. And I said, well, are you really? If you're not pregnant, is that going to kill you in 2 minutes? And she said, no. And that's the key. The answer is either yes or no. There's no but. No, but it feels like it is, blah, 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 blah. It's just yes or no. And so the 2-minute rule, you guys, it is the most important thing you can do to help you live a life of joy and to validate what's going on. And then when we're in alignment with our spirit, spirit can communicate with us, because spirit has a tough time communicating with us on the I feel crappy channels because the vibration's too low. So get in alignment with your spirit. You can use it 100 times a day. It doesn't matter. In any circumstance, Spirit's going to give you a thought. You're going to think, okay, maybe I'll check this website. Maybe I'll talk to this person. Maybe I'll call that person. That's Spirit guiding you. So the 2-minute rule, it's the key. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get more callers on. Stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Welcome back. Let's go back to the phones. And our next caller is Priscilla. Hi, Priscilla.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Thank you for taking my call. I feel like I'm talking to a celebrity.
Oh, please. Not even close, but I'm glad somebody thinks so. Where are you located, girl?
I live in the Bay Area in California.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, terrific. Okay. Are you getting any of that smoke from the fires over in South Lake Tahoe?
Yes. Well, some days are better than others, but we are getting, the bad air quality. It looks overcast, but it's really the smoke. So it has not been pleasant.
I'm sorry. Oh, gosh. I'm glad you're away from it, though. Yeah.
Me too. I'm really sorry for the people who are suffering over there. Right.
I was watching it. Well, I was watching the news while I was grabbing a bite of lunch this afternoon, and they were at the Heavenly Ski Resort, and I've been there several times, and they said, oh, my God, we're just basically going to be so out of luck if we can't save that, because that's our whole economy, here in this area. So
exactly.
Prayers going out to all those people. I hope that God bless those firefighters. Goodness. Well, do you have a question for me?
Definitely. I do. I suffered a pregnancy loss just a couple of months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I was just wondering, thank you. And I was just wondering, because I strongly feel it, so I just wanted confirmation from you or whatever you see, if I'm going to conceive again. Because I do feel a couple of spirits around me, but I don't know if I'm just crazy.
You're not. You're not. There are 3 baby spirits over your right shoulder. They're not triplets, so take a deep breath. You're not going to have them all at the same time.
I know.
Yeah. You're not going to have a litter. You don't need to worry about that. You're not going to have a litter. But, they're spaced out. One's pretty close in. Priscilla, baby spirits look like little orbs that you'd see in a photograph. Sometimes you'll see them in a family photograph, another photograph, and they remind me of the bubble that Glenda the Good Witch, comes into Munchkin Land in The Wizard of Oz. She floats in a bubble. That's what it reminds me of. It's kind of an iridescent thing. They're spaced out. They remind me of when you're driving by the airport at night and planes are waiting to land and they have their landing lights on and they're waiting for clearance. So they're stacked up out in the distance. So, yeah, you have 3. Absolutely. That doesn't mean they're all going to incarnate, but it means that you've got 3 babies' energies attached to your energy field. And babies, Priscilla, attached to the mom's energy field sometimes years before they're conceived.
Okay, but you can't see if they're going to actually incarnate?
Well, I'm getting that 2 of them are right now. Now, here's the deal. Things that have happened in the past and things that are happening right now are set. Things that are happening in the future are fluid because there are a bazillion variables that can come into effect an outcome. But right now I'm getting that 2 of them will incarnate. The 3rd one may be hooked to you and is going to incarnate in another life. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe they haven't decided yet, but they're hooked onto your energy field. But I think you got a really good chance of having another 1, maybe 2.
That's amazing because I actually feel like my intuition is strongly telling me that I'm actually going to have 2 more and they're going to be twins. That's my intuition. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I do feel 2, 100%. Yeah.
I'm not seeing them as twins. Like I said, they're spaced out. But again, it's a future event, so it can change. But I do believe you'll conceive. Do you have any children now, Priscilla?
You know what the funny thing is? Yes, I do. I actually have 5 daughters.
Oh, goodness. Wow. What are you, a saint? You want more babies? Oh,
no,
my gosh.
This is what happens when you've been married for 20 years, had 4 kids with the first marriage, didn't work out. And I, married somebody for love who's younger, who never thought he could conceive, felt like it was never in the cards for him. And I don't want to say I did it for love, but because I love him so much, I want to create being with him. And we have a 16-month-old, and we have a desire to have 2 more. That's our plan. Yeah. And when we lost our baby 2 months ago, it was probably the most devastating loss I've ever felt in my entire life. And so, and I'm older, Julie. I'm going to be 42 in December. Okay. So, I just wanted to ask.
You're good. You're good. Okay, let us know when you're pregnant. Send us pictures of the babies when they arrive, and I'll post them online.
I will. Thank you so much.
Thanks for calling. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, let's go to Peggy next. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Peggy. You got to unmute yourself, girl. Peggy. Hello, hello. All right. Well, let's try Patty next. Hi, Patty.
Hi. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I got through. I'm so glad the last minute emails went through.
Terrific. Well, good. Tell everybody where you're located.
I'm actually from the Bay Area as well. I'm in San Francisco.
Okay,
California.
Terrific. Two in a row. How about that? Okay, well, great. You got a question for me?
Yes. I am having new back pain the last 2 months. I was on this quest to try to get an organic mattress because they say it's less disruptive for your hormones, it's better for your health. But I'm suffering through my 4th mattress right now.
Jeez.
Terrible back pain. I'm waking up crooked. I did fall the end of July as well, and I don't know if that's contributing to it. I have a fertility coach, and she says I'm the common denominator. There's maybe something that I need to work on. She's saying that there may be an unresolved issue that's maybe manifesting as a back pain. It might not be the mattresses as well. I was wondering if you could scan me or maybe ask my spirit guide what I need to do.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to hold you over. I will scan you during the break, and I'll let you know what I come up with when we get on the other side. So everybody stay with us. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Back before the break, we were talking with Miss Patty in the San Francisco Bay Area about her back. Patty, I worked on you during the break, and holy Moses, girl, what the heck did you do to your back? Did you say that you fell?
I fell end of July on my right side, and I actually had issues. I was on modified work because of right tennis elbow, and my spine is already crooked to begin with, and I just happened to fall on that side. I went to the ER for bruising and rib contusions. It's just kind of a mess.
Yeah.
So, around that time, I'm like, I want a new mattress too, and so it's just.
Yeah, your spine curves to the right. I mean, it's a sharp curve. So what I watched happen was I watched an energetic surgery happen where there were energetic rods put in on either side of your spine. Your spine was heated up to try and get the spine to straighten out. And it didn't want to straighten out, so I watched rods get installed, and I watched it get wired over to the left side to try and keep it straight. Schedule an hour appointment with me. I would love to really do a deep dive with you. Get on my calendar, check the reschedule button to get an earlier appointment if they become available. But I would like to spend a whole hour with you to do a deep dive on this and really do a healing. I don't know that I've ever seen a spine that looked like that before, frankly, where it had to be wired to the rod to keep it over in the center. So I don't think this is a mattress. I think this is your spine, and hopefully this healing will help in the short run. Then I'd like to do some more extensive work with you. So get on my calendar, and then we'll have a whole hour to do this. Okay. All right. Yes. Thanks, Patty. Hope you feel better. Bye-bye. Let me try Peggy again. Peggy, are you there?
Hi, yeah, this is Peggy.
Oh, wonderful. Good. I couldn't hear you last time, so I'm so glad to get you this time. Welcome. Where are you located?
I'm in Sacramento, California.
Oh, my gosh. What is this? 3 in a row. Northern California. Oh, I love it. Well, wonderful. Well, welcome. You got a question for me?
Yeah, I got Bell's palsy about 4.5 years ago, and I've done everything to try to heal it, and I can't. And I want to heal it, and I meditate, and I do a lot of self-healing, but I don't know why I can't fix this.
Okay.
And I also have ringing in my ears.
Okay, please tell everybody what Bell's palsy is. I know what it is, but a lot of our listeners may not.
They say it's a virus like chickenpox that occurred in me, and it caused paralysis on one side of my face where I can't smile, my eyebrow doesn't move, just a lot of symptoms of discomfort. And it's throughout the whole day, you never get rid of it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, let me get you on my radar, and let's see what we can do. So, connected to you in Sacramento, viruses look like watery beef broth to me, Peggy. And so I'm pushing it out from the bottom of your feet out through the top of your head. It looks like one of those fountains, that sprays out and then it kind of goes out in a bunch of different directions. It's like a Pebbles hairdo. You know how Pebbles used to have her hair on top of her head, and then her hair would kind of fall like in a fountain. That's what it looks like coming out the top of your head. So I'm getting all that going. And then what I'm doing is I'm in your brain right now working on the neural pathways to see if we can get those to light up. I see a little bit of scar tissue in your brain. Brain matter looks like thick cooked oatmeal to me, Peggy, and scar tissue in the head looks like chicken cartilage, the kind that you'd see in a chicken breast with the bone in. So I'm removing that. I'm putting stem cell energy in where those divots are, where the scar tissue's been removed. And then there's a vortex spinning above the areas where we're generating new brain matter. We're probably going to increase your IQ by a few points. So, hopefully that'll help. And it's always good to be smarter, right? And so I'm doing that. All right. So that's done. Reconfiguring. The neural pathways are lit up. They look like laser beams, Peggy, that crisscross a room in a museum as part of a security system that guards the paintings and the artifacts. So that's what I'm watching. They're lit up. Hopefully that will help. Again, I would love to have you for an hour. We can work on your ears, on the ringing in your ears. We can do a deep dive on this and really, really figure out what's going on. We can reverse engineer your symptoms. But that's a healing tonight that hopefully will help in the short run. All righty?
All right. Well, thank you very much.
You are so welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for calling. All righty, let's go to Nora next. Hi, Nora.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing excellent.
Wonderful. Where are you located?
In Nevada.
Where, I'm sorry?
And Henderson, Nevada.
Henderson, yeah, outside of Vegas. Terrific.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
So my question is somebody, I don't know who, has been sending me signs of owls, and I want to know who it is and what the message is.
Oh, tell us about the owls. Are they just showing up in your yard, or are you seeing pictures of them, or what?
Pictures and porcelain, owls and wood owls, and hearing people talking about owls, and it's just crazy how, everywhere all the time. I just turn around and I see a picture of an owl, or I'll see, just wherever, I'll see an owl outside, but not a real owl, but, like someone has it in their yard or something.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
Sometimes people use owls to keep other birds away from, pooping all over their whatever it is that they're trying to protect.
Yeah.
And they'll keep an owl. So did you look up what the significance of owls is?
I did. And the only thing that I can think of, or that I saw, is that in the Indian or tribe, they call it, they say it's an omen because it means death.
I get that they're silent spiritual messengers. And who's sending you the owls is your maternal grandmother. What did you call your maternal grandmother?
Okay.
What was your grandmother's name?
I didn't. My maternal grandmother, her name was Bertha.
Okay, what did you call her?
I just called her Grandma or Nana.
Okay. All right. She's the one that's sending them to you. They're spiritual messengers. They're silent. Owls, they move around and they're like stealth at night, and you can't hear them when they're moving around. So what message do you have for Nora from your, I'm asking your grandmother, what message do you have? She's saying we can find out who we're is. She's saying we're always around you. We're here for you. Whatever you need, you can talk to us anytime. We'll give you answers. We'll help you with anything that troubles you. Her exact words, we'll help you with anything that troubles you. So it's coming from your grandmother.
Okay.
Okay. Were you close to her when she was alive?
Well, this is the thing. My aunt just passed away, which is her mom.
Uh-huh.
And I was really close to her. I was really connected to her.
Your aunt passed away, and your aunt was your grandmother's mother?
No. My aunt's mother is my grandmother.
Okay.
So that's Bertha.
Yeah.
So
all right.
My aunt who just passed away, she's the one who I was really close to. My grandmother, not so much, because I barely knew her.
Grandma Bertha's around you. She's the one sending you the owls. So, again, schedule an appointment with me. We can have a conversation with Bertha. We can get a lot more information, and it'll be fun to find out what she says.
Have one already. Yeah.
Okay. Terrific.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Nora. Thanks for calling. Take care.
Thank you.
You bet. Okay. Let's see who we have next. We've got Miss Jenny next. Hi, Jenny.
Oh, hi, Jen. Oh, hi, Julie.
Hi.
Oh, gosh, I almost said hi, Jen. I don't know why. Good. How are you?
I'm well. Where are you located?
I'm outside of Seattle, Washington.
Okay. Terrific. You got a quick question for me?
I do. It's not about me. It's about my daughter. She was on hold earlier, but she had to go, so she hung up. Her name is Hannah. She is in New York.
Yeah.
In Manhattan, and she has a lot of health issues, ongoing health issues, kind of chronic. And right when she gets better, she has something else come up, and just wanted to know if you could scan her. It causes her a lot of anxiety. So, because there's just no answer. She'll go,
Okay. All right. So, you want me to scan her for the anxiety primarily?
No, just scan her to see if there's actually anything wrong, because, that's the thing. It's like,
all right.
She thinks that
I'm going to need to take a quick break, Jenny. When we come back, I'll get you back on. Come up with one thing you want me to scan. I don't have time to do a full body scan, but come up with something you want me to scan, and we'll do that with Hannah when we come back. Stay with us, everybody. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, we had Jenny on the phone. Jenny, did you come up with one thing you wanted me to check your daughter for?
I did, and I appreciate your making it shorter like that. So how about anxiety over her reproductive parts?
Okay. So did you hear me on the letter from the gal from the Ukraine? 2-minute rule. Teach her the 2-minute rule. And it's on my blog, AskJulieRyan.com. You can go. It's all written out. I would send that to her because she's getting anxious over something that's not going to kill her or harm her. And that technique is the best thing that she can do to help her with that. And you may want to schedule an appointment so we can have a whole hour and then I can do a full body scan. I just don't have time to do it on the show during the week. So schedule a whole appointment.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Julie.
Yeah,
that makes a lot.
You bet. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, let's go to Debbie next. Hi, Debbie.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, girl?
I'm doing great. And I'm calling from Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, terrific. You got a quick question for me?
Well, I'm now thinking that I need to maybe schedule an appointment, too. I'm actually calling for my sister.
Okay.
Who's here with me.
Yeah, what's her name?
Her name is Judy.
Okay.
And we've been trying, I'm sorry? So we've been trying natural things about 3 weeks ago. She was diagnosed with stomach cancer. We're trying to figure out which way to go. We went for a second opinion today. And we're actually looking for a healing. She has H. pylori, which they think caused the stomach cancer. And she was also diagnosed with Epstein-Barr virus. And she has, right now, she has an esophagus stricture, which is preventing her from eating the way she'd like to, swallowing, and she's looking for some healing.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do, am I on speaker, Debbie, by any chance? I'm getting some feedback. Maybe your sister is listening to one of the phones. Yeah. If you can get me off speaker, that would be great. Please.
Okay. I'm not on speaker.
Okay. Is your sister on her phone listening, perhaps?
She is in the other room. And
all right. Well, then we'll just fly with it the way it is. So I'm connecting to you from you to Judy. Got Judy. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm encapsulating the cancer, moving it out of her system. Imagine, those Reynolds Wrap cooking bags that they used to have? I don't know if they still have them or not, but that's what it looks like when I encapsulate the cancer. And then I'm pulling it out. I'm using stem cell energy to regenerate. Yeah, get on my calendar. Let's get a whole hour so we can really work with her and do that. In the meantime, let's do a DNA healing. 7 strands have come out. You may have heard me talking about it with earlier callers. Looks like pieces of paper you find inside a fortune cookie. And I'm watching the letters get reconfigured. And what it does is it will put the DNA back to a normal recipe so that the cells will behave the way that we want them to. What are the doctors saying? How do they want to treat her? Have you gotten 2 opinions that concurred with each other, or are you getting totally different stories from 2 different doctors?
Just a little different. The first one wanted to remove the stomach right away. And the second one is suggesting that, which we went to today, is suggesting that she does a 2-month round of chemo to see if it will abate. And if it goes down, they wouldn't have to remove the full stomach. They could just go in and kind of remove part of the stomach or where the cancer is if it goes down. And so so that's where we're at.
Okay. All right. In the meantime, shoot me an email, Debbie, Julie at AskJulieRyan.com. Anybody listening that wants this, send it. I'm going to send you the link for the gut biome test. You may have heard me talk about it in the past. Our immune system's based in our gut. Let's find out what the best foods are for her to eat and avoid, if she can even eat at this point. I think it would be interesting to see what that is. Food is the best medicine. Also, get a book called Eat to Beat Disease. It's by Dr. William Li, L-I, and he is a researcher who's also a medical doctor that treats patients, and he has found that food is more effective than medicine even. And I think you'll be able to find some foods in there that will help. The other thing is get a book called Radical Remission. And you want to get a copy of that either to listen to or to read. And the authors, if you don't have time to read these books, go on YouTube. Most of them have interviews about their books, and you can get the gist of them. So Eat to Beat Disease, Radical Remission. Shoot me an email. We'll get you that gut biome link quickly and schedule an appointment. And then I can spend an hour with her. Okay?
Perfect.
All righty.
Yep.
Well, good luck to her and
much.
to you. You are most welcome. Goodness. Okay, sending lots of love to you. All righty, everybody. That's it for this week. What a treat to get all of these callers on. A bunch of them I didn't get on. So for those of you that I didn't get on, please call back next week and let me know. I do my best to get as many on as I can. And we always have more callers than time. And the time goes so fast. Again, sending lots of love and prayers to all of you in the wake of Hurricane Ida and in the fires and the hurricane, whether you're in New Orleans or Baton Rouge or Mississippi or up in New Jersey or Maryland. I heard Annapolis got hit too. So sending lots of love and prayers to all of you and also the people that are fighting fires as well. Follow me on Instagram, all the social media, and submit your questions online. Sign up for angelic attendant training, and I'll meet you here next week. I'm going to go watch the Buckeyes. Hopefully I can see the fourth quarter. Sending you lots of love. Mwah, from Sweet Home, Alabama. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend and a wonderful early week next week. See you back here next Thursday. Bye now.
Be sure to follow Julie on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Julie Ryan and like her on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. To schedule an appointment or submit a question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.
This show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical, psychological, financial, or legal advice. Please contact a licensed professional. The Ask Julie Ryan Show, Julie Ryan and all parties involved in producing, recording, and distributing it assume no responsibility for listeners' actions based on any information heard on this or any Ask Julie Ryan shows or podcasts.